What would be the first 100 days of the newly elected president? Of course, we have seen an interesting and an engagement, an exciting campaign over the last few weeks, but after the election, there's moment of truth. Moment of truth is that there'll be 4 key challenges for the newly elected president within the first 100 days of his office. So, the first challenge is, as we all know, the IMF third review and the 4th tranche is on hold at the moment because they have said they would like to have a conversation with the newly elected president and the government. So, the newly elected president has to face an IMF review within the first 100 days. Of course, we know in the manifestos, many candidates have promised so many things, including salary increments and many concessional loans and so many giveaways. So again, we have to redo the numbers and check actually whether are we still within the program after announcing all of those relief packages is the first thing to check, and whether are we aligned with the IMF program, and that's the number 1 challenge. The number 2 challenge is on the debt restructuring. As we all know, the debt restructuring process started. We are already 2 years after defaulting on 12th of April 2022, and now we are at the edge because already there's interest due about 1.6 billion US dollars, and actually we are supposed to start repaying the past due interest from September, and we are at the end of September. So we have to again check the status of the debt restructuring process. What we all know is that the government agreed with the bilateral creditors. That's the official creditor committee, including the Paris Club, India, and of course China on the other hand. And also we had an agreement with the bondholders, the ad hoc bondholders. So now those 2 proposals have been given to the IMF to check whether the comparability treatment or the comparable treatment has been adhered. And if it is so, the IMF has to also check whether these 2 agreements are also in aligned with the IMF guidelines. So that's where it is. But within the first 100 days, there has to be some indication what would be the direction of the debt restructuring. The third challenge is, we know there will be elections again. That's the general election, and according to the Supreme Court decision, there will be a provincial council election and most likely a local government election. We all know during an election period that again another round of relief packages has to come. So how are we going to manage it is the next question for the newly elected president, because already we have pretty much announced quite a lot of relief packages beyond our means across all the party lines. So how are we going to manage with a new election cycle with all these needs is the third challenge. The fourth challenge is a geopolitical challenge. As we all know, in November there will be the US presidential election. Depending on who will get elected there, the entire geopolitical dynamics are going to get changed. So that challenge will also be there for the newly elected president. Those are the 4 key challenges the president has to face within the first 100 days of his office. On a more long-term and a medium-term challenge for any country, especially when we have gone through a debt restructuring cycle, is to grow the economy, because for us to overcome this crisis, either we have to get a sharp debt haircut or else we have to grow the economy. To grow the economy, we have to invest. But the challenge for investing is when a country goes through a debt defaulting process, your interest rates tend to stay high, and if the interest rates are high, basically no one really wanted to invest because the cost of money is high, so it is very difficult to recover your investment. So there's a paradox. On one side you need economic growth. For economic growth you need investment, but investment is difficult because the interest rates are high. In that case, either you can check for foreign direct investment. We know for the last many years our foreign direct investment track record is very poor. On the other side, when a country is anyway in the defaulted category, it would be very difficult to attract investment. So on a more medium term, long term, Improving the productivity would be a big challenge for whoever the newly elected president and the government. That's the story of the first 100 days for the newly elected president. You can follow us on Advocata Institute, but if you want to watch us on Singular, you can subscribe to Advocata Plus, and we are also available in Tamil language, that's on Advocata Kural. As Advocata, we would like you to provide an independent, non-partisan analysis on economics. So please stay tuned by subscribing our YouTube channel, and you can follow us on all social media platforms including Instagram, TikTok, LinkedIn and YouTube. Stay tuned for the next video.